Welcome back to our Global High-Tech Solution GITS Cyber channel on lecture 12. Before you started this lecture, I highly encourage you to complete previous lecture related with this course. Let's get started and jump on the topics. So today we'll be learning about as a continuous lecture from the previous lecture as a data-driven concept, keyword-driven concept, code optimizations, post to GitHub. So this is data-driven concept, keyword-driven concept. This is still as a senior level work. But once you jump into code optimization, this is a lead level, senior, and the lead who leading the automation team or automation code or automation artifact. So who can do the code optimizations? It is a little bit is a higher level concept, and during the code optimizations, you will see how the entire structure of the code become a less code, clean code, reusable code, and we'll be following the dry and the kiss principle. Let's go ahead and jump into and see the actual results, actual action on it. So on the previous lecture, we talked about the keyword-driven framework. As you see, I showed to you the first one, but on the later part, in the behind the scene, I work out with the rest of them, right? So, which is everything you are seeing right now. There is no psi. There is no psi events or psi code. So we replace with the psi with the utils file. We create a functions. We call that functions verify text contents and verify link values. Everywhere you see the utils, right? This is called a keyword-driven frameworks. Now, once when we jump into the code optimizations, basically this is for around like how many lines of code? Total 233 line of code will be replacing with the 3 or 5 line of code. So that is called a code optimization. So we'll be using over here as it's called a dry and kiss principle, which is meaning do not repeat yourself and keep it simple. Always keep it simple and do not repeat yourself. Right now you see that there is a 230 lines of code. It is very confusing to me, and also it is very confusing to and it will be nightmare to maintenance the code, right? Let's do the code optimization. How do we do that? So we'll be doing it in a 3 different sections. One of them which will be the data homepage data.json files. We created a variable for each text, link text, and the link value. We'll be get rid of with the link variables. We're not going to be using variable. We'll be directly using arrays. How to do that? So I'll be just copying and pasting the code. As I said earlier, like the 4 hour time consuming. I already worked on that code. Then let's go ahead and replace with it. So this is how simple will be. You see that all the variable is gone. Now we just replace with the link text with the array just containing all the link text basically. And the second one, it containing the link URL, which is a link value, URL values, right? All of them. So this is pretty much self-explanatory. So nothing to explain here. So we created as an array. We declared an array variable. Now we are optimizing the code over here, and let's go back into our page object model. Right inside the page object model, home page. So those are the code we'll be replacing with a single line of code, around like 47 line of code. So with the variable, with the function variable, we'll be replacing with a single line of code, the first one. So get home page link locators. Then we put a parameters which called the index. The reason is we're putting the index. You see that all the locators, everything's are remaining same on the locators, only the number are being changed. Instead of number, we're going to be using index. So later on, we can call that function and we can pass the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So replacing with all the code with the single line of code. You see the 45 line of code replacing with one single line of code. So this is how the way you are optimizing on the page object model locators on the data.json file. And now we're moving to our test case. So instead of 233 line of code, we'll be only using like 10 line of code. How's that simple? You see, keep it simple and do not repeat yourself. So let's go ahead and copy same code, which is I explained it to you earlier. I'm going to be copying and pasting here and explaining to you. So I create a empty array, link locators, then using a for loop. So as I told you earlier, on the home page, it's starting from 1 to 44 as a locators, just a number. Now we're passing that number into our for loop, 1 to 45, which is less than I less than 45, which is going to be 1 to 44, I plus plus. It will iterate, basically. It will looping through. Then we're pushing to empty arrays all the 1 to 44. Basically 1 to 44, there is a 44 locators. We just replace with like five line of code. Now we are going to be iterate the entire 45 test cases within 3 line of code. How do we do that? Let's go ahead and copy that code and paste it into our as a test case. There you go. So now we declare as a link locators empty array. On that empty array, we are pushing all the 44 locators. Then we are calling the links locator dot for each loop. So using for each, it will iterate the locator first, then index. We are passing 2 parameters, excuse me. So, and now we are starting with the test case. So on that, the it test case, everything remains same except the text, right? Validate link contains the home page data.link text, which is we're declaring inside the page data.json, which is arrays. Then this is our test case name. We are iterating 44 test case using the index. Then utils.verify text contains, which is as you see over here, instead of the locators, we are passing the locator parameters. And then the text homepage data.ab testing, instead of that, we are passing homepage data.link text as an index. The link text, which is we're declaring here. Right? The second one is same thing. We are passing the locator, have attributes, href, and the link values, which is the index. Now this is only like 3 line of code replacing with entire 45 233 line of code. There you go. That's it. This is our 45 validation, 45 test case into replace within the 3 line of code. Let's go ahead and run it. Let's see it is running or not. npm run test. Get list of users. The first API test. The second one is our, there you go. So you see the H test with coming with the H validation, A/B testing, remove, page broken, exit, file download, right? So all of the test case are independent, like the way it was before with the 233 line of test cases. Now you see the have attribute and href. This is the application data, right? So we can declare it inside the feature file as the application data. This is the user data. We can also create a folder called application data, and inside the application data we can call a app data.json. Inside the app data.json, started with this, then we can call have attribute, this one as a variable, then colon have attribute. So this is going to be a double quote always inside the JSON file. Now have attribute, you can make it as a have attr, have attribute declaring Then the second one, we will have our href. So let's put them href over here, href, and put them href. That's it. There you go. So now you can call that the page application data on the top of the file as an import app data from which is going to be pictures application data app data, right? Now you are inherited the app data from the JSON file. You can pass it over here, app data dot app attributes, app data dot href. That's it. So you see there is no more hard-coded inside the test case, the entire 45 test cases. This is how keep it simple, how looks gorgeous the test case is, like all the test cases, 45 test cases, right? And pretty much maintainable. So we are using dry and kiss principles. So now if I going back on our architecture, so we are in the page object model, core concept data driven, keyword driven, common utils, and also we are using agnostic browser environment, right? So we'll be seeing in the next lecture how do we make the agnostic of the environment and the browsers. Now let's go ahead and run it. That's as a last run, npm run test. There you go. So all the test is up and running, and all the concept we applied, data driven, keyword driven, utils, and the optimizations, right? Now let's push our code, git add git commit -m, and let's do over here add optimization, git push. There you go. Everything is good to go. Thank you so much for watching this lecture. Stay tuned for upcoming lecture for the rest of the course. Thank you.